Hello and welcome. I'm Sindhu and this is Chai and Katha, and I invite you to a new series called Inner Mahabharata. This is a 41 episode series and I would like to invite you on a journey not through the Mahabharata that happened thousands of years ago, but through the Mahabharata that unfolds within each one of us every single day. This is not a series about mythology. It's not about remembering who fought whom. It's not even about learning the Mahabharata. It's about discovering ourselves through its characters. What is Mahabharata? Maha means great, vast, expanded. While the Mahabharata is traditionally the great story of the Bharata lineage, I also like to contemplate it differently. In Indian aesthetics, three elements create a powerful expression. One is bhava, our inner feeling, emotion and intention. Two, raga, the melody, the unique expression of who we are. Tala, the rhythm, the order and discipline that gives life coherence. When our emotions are clear, our expression is authentic, and our actions move in rhythm with our values, something extraordinary emerges. Perhaps Mahabharata is not only a story we read, it's a possibility we become. Every one of us carries a battlefield within. Every one of us also carries the potential for greatness. The journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about bringing our bhava, raga and tala into alignment so that our life itself becomes our own Mahabharata. So how do we take this journey forward? By studying each character and seeing the resemblance and reflection in our own lives. Every episode will introduce one character and perhaps one question that stays with you long after the story ends. So, let's begin with Vyasa. When I say Vyasa, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Most of us would probably say he wrote the Mahabharata, and that's true. But I don't think that's the most extraordinary thing about him. What fascinates me is something else. How could one person understand human beings so deeply? Think about it. He understood Bhishma, Karna, Duryodhana. He understood Arjuna, Draupadi, Krishna. None of them were alike. Each one had a different personality, different strengths, different wounds, different desires, different ways of seeing the world. Yet, Vyasa never reduced any of them to a single label. He didn't make one person entirely good and another entirely bad. He saw their greatness, he also saw their limitations. He saw their wisdom, he also saw their blind spots. He didn't judge, he observed. And that made me wonder, was Vyasa simply the author of the Mahabharata? Or was he showing us something much deeper? A way of looking at human beings, including ourselves. Have you noticed how quickly we judge people? Someone says something we don't like and we have already decided who they are. She's selfish, he's arrogant, they will never change. Sometimes we don't just do this to others. We do it to ourselves. I'm not confident. I always overthink. I'm just not good enough. Slowly, those thoughts stop sounding like opinions. They begin to sound like facts. Now pause for a moment. Are they facts or are they stories? Stories you have repeated so often that you've forgotten their stories. Maybe that's why the Mahabharata begins with Vyasa. Before we meet the warriors, before the battles, before the victories and defeats, we meet someone who simply sees. Because unless we learn to see, we'll keep mistaking our first reaction for the truth. Our minds are full of different voices. Some days anger speaks, some days fear, sometimes love, sometimes ambition, sometimes jealousy, sometimes compassion, sometimes doubt. The question is, which one is really you? Maybe that's not the right question. Maybe the better question is, can you notice all of them without immediately becoming any one of them? I'd like to leave you with something to reflect on today. The next time you feel angry or anxious or hurt, don't rush to fix it. Don't push it away. Just pause and ask yourself, what is happening within me right now? Stay with the question. You don't have to find an answer immediately, because sometimes real transformation begins not when we discover new answers, but when we learn to ask deeper questions. So before we end today's episode, I would like to leave you with one final question. Who's writing the story of your life? And perhaps more importantly, are you reading that story consciously or are you simply repeating it? I'll see you in the next episode and continue our journey into the inner Mahabharata.